May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. Uh, it's been a rough couple of weeks, particularly last week, and we need some guidance going ahead or going into next week. The deal is that if there's a country that hated the fact that the U.S. put tariffs on it and said, hey, maybe I can whatever business whatever trading I was doing with the U.S. Maybe I can do that with China or maybe or another country. That's going to affect the markets in an unpredictable way. So what am I saying? I'm saying your fair value gaps, those lows that you're looking for a pullback from, and all that kind of stuff. All of that goes out the window. All right, when it comes to fundamental news. So if there's an announcement of heavier fines or heavier tariffs or somebody there's a country responding in a negative way to tariffs or something, or if the tensions in Russia between Russia and Ukraine amp up in some kind of way, the Gaza Strip. I'm just saying that those fundamental things could just blow away all of our technical analysis. Let's bear that in mind. But I base all my trades off of technical analysis. I'm not a fundamental trader, and more oftentimes than not, my analysis is pretty spot on because structure is king to me, and that's I'm looking at market structure and at low points and high points and where liquidity goes. That's where I want to go. All right, institutional flows. That's what I, when they leave footprints behind, the institutional traders leave footprints behind, leave breadcrumbs. That's where I want to go. I want to be on that side. Whatever side they're on, that's what side I want to be on. Okay. Anyway, let's move forward. The US dollar index, one, two, we're in our third bearish candle. All right. This is a monthly time frame. So it's moving bearish. It's left a uh, 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 bearish fair value gap here. All right. And somehow we see price as it came down, it ran into this bullish bullish order block, and you see the wick of respect that happened there. All right. There's a mitigation that went on here. All right. A mitigation, price mitigated, and we're looking for price to pull back a bit. All right. And it did. All right. At least about 50%. And I'm looking for price to continue down because I don't think this low holds. I believe this is going to be the draw. That low is going to be a big draw on price to for lower prices. All right. Now, because we have a bearish fair value gap here, price could very well use that very bearish fair value gap to stab into and move down for lower prices. But it could very well move from these this wick. It can, from these current levels of price, it can just come down. I'm having trouble speaking. Not good on a video. Okay, so if we go down to the weekly time frame, this is not the weekly. There you go. You can see that price has created a weekly fair value gap, which it stung into and pushed for lower prices. Here we are. This is the sell before the stronger buy with a bullish fair value gap there. But this is the deal. I don't like using anything this old. All right. I want to bear in mind how old these fair value gaps are. So when price comes back down to test those bullish fair value gaps, in this case, I'm looking at them as speed bumps. Okay, price will probably react to it, but then continue down. And what in that reaction, it'll probably take a low like this, hit a bullish fair value gap, and react to it, only to go up into a bearish fair value gap and continue in the way it was going before it made that bump. You understand? I hope you understand what I'm saying. The older uh, in this case, discount arrays. All right, I look at speed bumps. Can you get a reversal from here? Sure it can. It can go all the way up. All right. The chances, the probabilities of that happening are, I think it's stronger to go lower. All right. If it was between a 50% and 618%, maybe 705%, maybe even 786% Fibonacci retracement. Yeah, but this one went all the way down to like, 90% retracement. When it gets that low, it's probably going to continue to go low. Now, and also I want you to understand this is an external liquidity point. All right. If price is not seeking to offer fair value, like in a fair value gap, pulling back into it, it is seeking liquidity, which are the lows and the highs. So we see that over here, there was bullish fair value gaps, prices running through those. Why? Why isn't it respecting those? It's not offering fair value here. No, that's because it's seeking liquidity. All right. If it's not doing one, it's doing the other. Let's go from an internal, from external. Sorry, see that low here? Goes from external to internal. This is the internal target, the bearish fair value gap, and then we're going down lower, reacting to another fair value gap, only as a reaction to get to the external liquidity point, this low here. So that's I hope you caught that explanation. If you have any questions on it, please leave it down in the comment section. Also, on the daily, we have a volume imbalance, right, where you see price gap down, and price on Friday closed up towards, heading towards it. I like this low. This low is the buy before the more stronger sell. All right. That is an area of fair value. Price is coming back up into it. I'm looking for price to either find resistance there and continue down, or take the high, and let's see if there's bullish fair value gaps along the way for price to use to continue higher. That's what I'm watching right here. So Monday I'm going to let play out, and we'll see how it goes. Let's look at the Euro USD. We'll go down to the weekly. It's the opposite of the Dixie, and you can see this reversal here. All right, and you can see the bullish fair value gap on the weekly that was stabbed into, and price moved up higher. All right, and that's what you want to see: internal to external. All right, take this high here, swept that high. All right, and price shows a nice rejection here. Why? Because it hit a speed bump, that bearish fair value gap. Now, will that speed bump cause a reversal? It very well could, but it's so deep, so low, so high up, I think it's just going to serve as a speed bump. And just like the opposite of in the Dixie, I'm looking for price to pull back, which it did. This is that wick of respect. I'm looking for price to pull back towards that area and find support to go to higher prices. I'm looking at these highs as the draw on liquidity. Let me get one up there. All right, boom. Come on, man. Not in front of company. There you go. I got to get it right one of these days, man. Dang God. All right. And boom. All right. So I'm looking for price to possibly touch down. Let's go to the daily. Touch down. I'm looking at this swing low as a protected low. That's why I got it highlighted in green. I don't know why I look all crazy. Yeah, it just never mind. All right. All right. So it's already pulled back. This is the wick it formed. I'm looking for price in this sell to buy. I'm looking for price to find support here and go higher. If it takes out this low, I'm looking to see if it's creating bearish fair value gaps for it to pull back into and continue lower to sweep the sell side liquidity here. So this is the area we're going to watch. But I'm looking for a price to continue higher from there. Okay? If we go to the, what is this? The British pound. Let's go to the monthly. Similar, very similar to the euro, right? You can see the wick of respect is a lot larger here, all right? And you can see that it found that bearish fair value gap over here as well. The old one, is that going to be acting as a speed bump? We'll see. I suspect it will. And I'm looking for price to stab, I'm looking for price to stab into this this weekly bullish fair value gap and fill this gap so that price could take that high. This is the monthly high right now. Is price going to take this low again? Now, this one deserves a little more attention because it has already swept these lows into this fair value gap. So it's gone from an external liquidity point and pulled into an internal liquidity point. I'm looking for price to see. I'm looking at price suspiciously with both eyes wide open to see if it will find support here for higher prices. Now, is there what I tend to do is I look in these big wicks and say, hey, is there a fair value gap that would support higher prices inside of it? Not the weekly one that we already hit. We can actually, this is actually a distraction. What I need to see is something like this one. All right. This one's down a ways, right? And can I expect price to come down here and bounce from it? I'm going to mark it here and we're going to see. The British pound has been stronger than the euro. It hasn't been easy to come down, but what I want you to see is that there's a lot of what do you call it? Momentum in that bearish candle. It could very well push down and come up higher and come higher. All right, there's a low for it to reach. This will be the low of April. All right, and if it comes down in here, it could definitely find support for higher prices. This would be the spot. This is the breakout area where it broke out from in the first place. We consolidate, we take the high, we push down. This could very well be the place where it turns around. But I'm going to let price develop and we'll see how it turns out. All right. Now, as far as the Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar, we're going right to the daily. You can see how the market ended last week. Very bearish, sweeping all those lows, breaking market structure. All right, this is a very bearish situation, and you can see that it closed below that low. I'm looking for more bearishness to come, plain and simple. And now I'm going to look inside of this. Is there a place for price to pull back into and say, hey, we're going lower? Is there support for lower prices? Yes, right here. There's a bearish fair value gap on the 4-hour that price could definitely sting into and use to go lower for sure. And New Zealand dollar has the exact same situation. All right. I like it a little bit better because the swing low over here is intersecting that bearish fair value gap. So I would definitely like to see price. Come on, man. I just used you to sting into that and seek lower prices. Where are we going if we go to lower prices? and the New Zealand dollar probably take this low out here. Yeah, you can see that a little bit better on a daily. Yeah, to take that low. I've been suspecting that we would go lower because there's a even lower uh, uh, liquidity. Come on, man. Look, I can't grab it for some reason. A liquidity point here. So I suspect that it's going to come down and grab that thing. So we're going to see. We're going to see how it all pans out. If we go to the U.S. dollar, I mean, if we go to the CAD futures, the Canadian dollar, it's weak. It'll probably, because it's a commodities based um, currency like the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar, the Canadian dollar. Probably going to go the way oil is, and this probably going towards lower prices. You can see the wick of respect it created on last week. All right, it pushed up higher, took out a high. All right, but you can see that the sellers came back into it, came back into the fray, and pushed price back down. If we go to the daily, we can see that up, that push up and push out, push back. This is a very immediate sharp turn. I'm looking for prices to head towards the previous weekly low right here. All right, right at 69635. Okay, so I am definitely looking for price to come after these lows. Okay, if we just the opposite in the U.S. dollar CAD, not the futures, but just the CFD. I mean the FX broker. You can see prices opening up here. We are inside of an area of supply, right? Come on, man. I can see price definitely stinging into supply and then continuing down. As long as this high, sorry, as long as this high remains intact, and we're actually the area of fair values extends from the buy up to the stronger sell off right here. As soon as price comes up into here, I'm looking for price to turn around, and I'll be looking on the lower time frames to see when price is, gives me a bearish break of market structure. That's when I will wait for the pullback and take me a short with the market, with the trend, and head down. All right. If we go to the Swiss uh, Swiss franc, let's see if we go to the weekly. Well, I'm getting down to it. Go to the Swiss. You can see we have the wick of respect here. All right. It did not take out that high as far as the Swiss franc futures. All right, so we left these relative equal highs up here. We have the wick of respect. I'm looking for price to pull back a little bit more and then quite possibly continuing higher because of the weakness in the US dollar. So we'll see how this one goes. This one we want to watch very carefully. We don't want to jump into anything. All right, you can see that inside of this candle, this probably on the lower time frames, if we go from the daily to the 4 hour, we'll see a bullish fair value gap that price could definitely use to go for higher prices. All right, that's what I'll be looking for. If we go to the Japanese yen, this is the last one real quick. We can see Japanese yen futures. If we go to the daily, I'm looking for more bullishness, and you can see that we have a push up. Sorry, we have a push up, a pullback, and I'm looking for the fair value gap that it left here. I'm looking for price to sting into it for, come on, man, to move for higher prices. That's why I got that little arrow here. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the like button. Do not forget that like button. And I will see you in the next one. Trade safely next week. And let's be careful and patient. Okay.